When I first watched Purple Hearts, I thought this is just another fake marriage romance, but it honestly surprised me.
Yeah, and it wasn't just about love. It was about sacrifice, survival, and two broken people coming together in the most unexpected way.
And it really made me think, what would I do if I had to choose between following the rules or protecting the people I love? Welcome to the Point of View podcast. My name is Osatohamen.
And my name's Uyiosa.
And here we are for another episode.
Yeah, we're super excited to share a movie with you guys this week. If you haven't checked out last week's video, we talked about The Flash. Pretty popular show. A lot of people like it, so check it out if you like it. Mm-hmm. But at least for this week, we're talking about the movie called Purple Hearts. And yes, it does refer to the military meaning, but it's actually a movie on Netflix. If you've heard of it or if you haven't, it's a really good movie. We both liked it, so you should definitely go watch it. But
very rom-com-y vibes, but I guess it's not really so much comedy. It's a mixture of comedy, serious. It's kind of
just romance,
Yeah, I mean, there's funny parts.
Yeah, but I don't know. I don't even know what classifies a
rom-com. I feel rom-com nowadays is just anything romance. I feel when you say, oh, it's a rom-com, it doesn't actually mean it's comedy.
It's not a comedy.
It's just romance.
It's just oh, they fall in love and get together at the end.
Yeah,
it's a rom-com.
It's a rom-com.
But yeah, Purple Hearts is a rom-com romance movie on Netflix. Came out about 3 years ago, probably around summertime. So we're probably around the anniversary of it. But
3 years.
3 years. But just a little brief summary of the movie. There's this girl called Cassie, who is the main character girl. She's an inspiring artist. She wants to be a singer. She works at a bar to save up to be able to release an album and all these kinds of things. And there's Luke, who is this Marine, or he's about to be deployed as to be a Marine. And so basically this movie starts out is Cassie is diabetic, and hers is detrimental to her health. She's the kind of person that needs the medicine. It's not optional for her.
Insulin.
For insulin. I mean, I'm sure it's not optional for anyone with diabetes, but there were scenes in the movies.
There's different types of diabetes.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I think she had, actually they never mentioned what type she had.
I should probably know this, but
type 1 maybe.
I always confuse. I think it's type 1. Type 2 I think
has the more dangerous one, right?
Type 2 I think it has to do with eating habits, and I think type 1 a lot of times it's just natural or not genetic, or you're born with it.
Yeah, then I think she probably had type 1 then. Yeah. But so she's a type 1 diabetic, and so all of a sudden she meets this Marine, this Luke guy that comes to the bar that she works at, and there's kind of a whole bristle, a little a little fight kind of breaks out. Not a fight, but there's kind of a back and forth between her and this Luke guy and his other Marine friends, because she's again very vocal about her opinions and what she believes in, and she's kind of well, these military guys kind of come in, they're oh, we're the hot shot guys, you can just serve us drinks, I'll take your number with it too, kind of guys. And she's not having it. And so from that conversation, one of her friends goes oh, one of the guys just told me I shouldn't marry him because I'll get health benefits and we'll both make more money. And so she's seeing that, and she's okay, well, I'm diabetic. And also in this movie, she just went to the store and they told her the insurance can no longer cover your medication, your insulin. So she literally needs it to live. So she's thinking
that makes me mad. We're gonna talk more about that later.
Yeah, trust. But she's thinking okay, well, all I have to do is marry a guy for a year, get the health benefits and some extra money, and I'll be great. And so that's how she, gets with this Luke guy, and then movie.
First she wanted to do it with her childhood friend, or I guess she babysat him, right?
Yeah, Frankie.
Yeah. But then he was oh, I mean, I would love to, but I'm literally trying to get him married to the love of my life. And she's oh, never mind. And then
the Luke guy overhears it.
And then,
which I should also mention that he was a drug addict, and so he wrecked his dad's car when he was a teenager. But the car, he took out a loan from one of his druggie friends, which was $20, or I think it was either $20,000 or $30,000. So obviously not pocket change. And so to be able to fix his car, the car that his dad was working at the shop they work at, sounds really confusing. But anyway, he crashes this car. He borrows money from this guy called Jono. Not Johnny, not John. Jono.
It's always a drug dealer name. I mean, come on.
His name's like Jonathan. He's like, yeah, I want to go by Jono.
I'm so cool.
Like, but like the low key, like looking at it now, the guy's such a joke. Like, I don't know if you remember what the guy looks like.
No, I do.
But Jono is like basically like threatening him. He's like, you're out of rehab, you know, you're in the military. He's like, get me the money. And so Luke tells him he has to meet up with this Cassie girl because he's also desperate for money. And he's like, all right, if we're going to do this marriage thing, we need to have a plan. This is this. And he tells the plan to Jono. And then like the story evolves into Purple Hearts. So
yeah. And I guess we want to talk about it.
Yeah.
So first we want to talk about like, obviously in the beginning we said that this was a fake relationship, fake marriage,
obviously,
like married, like contractual marriage. Like I love that like trope in like, you know, the K dramas or like
no.
Well, for all my girls out there or boys that watch like Korean stuff, like arranged marriage or contractual marriage of convenience, those are heavy like.
I do read books about that though.
I also read books too. Like
I don't
romance.
think I've ever watched the show.
I have, but it's good. It's really good. But it's interesting how their relationship like starts out like super fake. Like they actually like low-key hate each other. Like
yeah, like it is enemies to lovers.
Like genuinely, but they're like, it's all for the money.
Yeah, literally. Because actually, in the conversation she's having with the guy that she babysat as a kid, which like if they did get married would be really weird when you think about it, but like. For the money, right? In the conversation, Luke's dad...
would it be that weird? Like, if you were, like, 16 babysitting, like, an 11-year-old, and they're not, like, kids, right? Like, she's probably late 20. How old was she again?
I don't know, but he was, like, 19 or 18 or 19.
Wait, the guy was 18, 19?
Frankie was young.
Oh, Frankie. I thought you were talking about Luke.
No.
Oh,
no,
okay.
Luke should be, like, her age, I think.
Okay.
But Luke's dad...
Yeah, no, it is weird.
Yeah.
If they were a bit, like, I was going to say, like, it would still be weird, but it would be, I guess, more fine in my eyes if they were older. Like, if she was, like, 30 and he was, like, 25, I'm like...
Yeah, I don't think she's up. She might be 30, but, like...
No.
I don't think she was up to.
I think she's, like, mid-20s.
Yeah, but... The problem with the conversation she's having with Frankie, who ends up not even being able to marry her anyway, is Luke's dad is MP. He's military police. And, like, they're basically the people that, like, catch people that try and do marriage fraud and, like, cheat the system. And so the reason they're enemies is because Luke overhears this, storms into the room. He's like, my dad's military police. And Cassie's kind of just looking at him like, okay. Because he says MP. And she's like, okay. And Frankie goes like, that's military police. And she's still like, okay. And he's like,
I mean, to her point, like this rando guy like barges in and is like, my dad's MP. And you're like, okay, are you gonna snitch? Like what are you?
Get out of my face. Like what?
Like honestly, like Luke was so annoying in the beginning. Like
he really was.
I could not.
I would be his enemy too. What?
It wouldn't be enemies to lover. It would just be enemies.
And then divorce at the end of the year.
And I mean, like, it's really interesting. Like, it really is a rom-com because their love started off, like, in this tough place. Like, oh, we're these enemies. But over a series of events, maybe we shouldn't spoil it too much. Yeah. But they come together and they find love and they find harmony. And they realize, like, oh, we actually care for each other. And, like, we never thought that we would start out at this place of hatred and develop this love and this family and this connection. And I think that, you know, sometimes like, you know, I hope that's not really happening with like relationships, like boyfriend, girlfriend, or like marriage or anything, but like friendships sometimes. Like, have you ever, it's like, it happens a lot with girls. Like, it's like, oh, this girl, like, I like just saw her and I didn't like her. But then like you actually talk to her and you're like, wait, like, I actually like love normal, this girl. Actually. Like, we're best friends now. And like, I've heard so many girls say that. And I think that you shouldn't let like, I guess, initial impressions in friendships and maybe even in
there's a couple
in relationships like, you shouldn't let that. I don't know
if it's like redemption or like second chance. I just saw like, you know, the guy in like, I think it's New York where he does like the meet cutes where he goes up to couples and he's like, are you guys a couple?
Yeah, and they're always like, oh no, we're siblings, or like sometimes.
Oh, what?
No, but sorry. I'm now thinking back to me saying that. I'm like, that's weird. So I've seen his bloopers.
Oh, okay.
Where he goes, because he's talking, he asks so many
Yeah.
random people. And so many people will be like, oh, we're siblings, or no, we're not, or something. Like, it'll be like funny, like, situations. So that's why I mentioned that.
I was like, siblings.
No.
Siblings are dating. Like,
no, it's not Alabama. This is New York.
But like this one couple he came up to, this video was from a while ago, like 2023, but he's like, oh, are you guys a couple? And they're like, yeah. And he's like, oh, so how did you guys meet? Like, did it start out good? And they were both like, no. Like, they're like, the first date, like, we absolutely, like, they didn't like hate each other. So I guess, like, if you absolutely despise the person, maybe, I don't know.
Keep going. Like, maybe there's a reason that you despise them.
I don't know. Maybe you can come back from that, whatever the reason is, misunderstanding. But they were like, oh, no, like, the first date was like a no. And I guess it was the time of the Chelsea bombing. So it was like the first date was just being interrupted by, like, all this stuff. So they weren't able to, like, 100% focus, and they weren't, like, clicking because they'd also met on Coffee Meets Bagel. It's a dating app.
Yeah.
So they met. It's one of, like, the more sophisticated ones. And so
bougie.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, I think you have to pay for, like, something, like,
you have to pay, like, even the non-bougie ones. You have to pay for. You have to pay for, like,
you have to pay for Tinder.
What?
Tinder's free.
No, there's
like things you have.
That's
to
what I
pay
mean. Like,
for.
everyone.
But I'm saying
has a
Bumble. Like, I think you have to pay to use the app. Like, I think they're, like, to, like, connect with people.
Yeah.
But, like, they said, like, oh, we met on this app, and they were like, the first date just wasn't it. Like, we weren't feeling it. But then I guess, like, the Coffee Meets Bagel app has this, like, feature where it's, like, it can give you, like, a second chance to chat with the person. And so I guess they both were just like, okay, let me give this a shot. And they ended up talking till, like, 4 a.m. Like, they were just texting back and forth. And they've been together for, like, 10 years now. And
that's insane.
They're like, yeah, like, you know, the first date doesn't, like, always determine it, just because it, like, it might feel weird, or you don't know yet. You know, just give them a second chance. But I mean, don't give them, like, 30 chances. But, you know,
I think 2 chances is good enough.
Yeah, you know, maybe, you know, it just didn't click that day, or stuff was going on, like they said. So you never know. But I mean,
no, I agree. I think that, yeah, don't let first impressions a lot of times, like, completely, like, change the trajectory of a relationship, because it could be, like, you know, the love of your life, or it could be, like, the best friend that's going to be with you for the rest of your life. It's going to be your aunt or uncle to your kids and stuff, like that's how close you guys will be.
Mm-hmm.
But if you just let sometimes those first impressions, like, maybe someone was having, like, a bad day, maybe traffic was bad, maybe their head is hurting, like, so many, like, things. But if you let that one instance, like, define a relationship,
the rest of the relationship,
yeah, like, you could be missing out on so much. And so I kind of think that this is sort of a good lesson. I don't know how, like, healthy their relationship was in the beginning. I don't think it was, but you can take, we like on this, you know, podcast to take the good
bits and pieces,
the bits and pieces of good from movies and TV shows. So we're taking the good from this movie, and there is good in that you need to give people second chances. You need to continue to let relationships grow.
Yeah, for sure. And I also think that's just, like, a testament to their relationship, is that it didn't start out great, but, like, they started to realize, and also because, like, they didn't know each other. Like, that's the thing with, like, usually the rom-coms, but especially, like, the fake dating or the marriage of convenience. It's like, the people really don't know each other. So it's like, obviously they already, like, clashed that first day at the bar, like I was saying. And then now you're like, I have to marry this guy who doesn't want to do this. His dad's also military police. So if we get caught, his dad might arrest us. Like,
okay, side note, why does someone saying, like, oh, my dad's MP sounds so unserious?
And also,
like,
he's not even close with his dad either.
Like, I'm just like, if someone said that to me in real life, I would be like, are you like, it sounds unserious, like, it sounds like lame.
Yeah, like, you would
like,
just
I know
call
it's not
them.
a lame, like, it's not a lame position, like, of course it's very respectable, but, like, I don't know, in that context, it's just like, my dad is MP, like
I feel like you would just call them and get them in trouble, not, like, announce it and be like, yeah, he's MP. Okay, like,
but we're not snitches over here. Like, unless you're doing something to personally damage you or your family, I don't see how him calling his dad, that he's estranged from, by the way, or even using the dad to, like, make this. Yeah, no, he was a bit of a red flag in the beginning.
Oh yeah, but actually, speaking of the dad, another part of this movie that I personally love is like the found family aspect of it, because
we love found family on this podcast very much.
Yes, we do. Because Cassie's mom she's an immigrant and they live in California, so like that's like popular, of course, in that area. And so like her mom has always had like a string of boyfriends, like they were always like poor growing up, like she's never really had a lot of things. And so like so when like she meets Luke and they start like getting together, and what's supposed to happen is he's supposed to kind of go overseas because again he gets deployed and he's supposed to be out. He's out for a couple months. They're calling and texting, making the relationship look real. And then he gets injured by like an IED, like a bomb, basically like blows up. It's like hurts his leg, so he has to like return home to be able to like heal and then eventually like go back. And so what happens is she's like, in a case of an emergency, she's supposed to call like Jacob Morrow. But the problem is Jacob Morrow is also the dad and the son, because it's Jacob Morrow and then Jacob Morrow Jr. And so she loses like the paper with the contact info. And so she searches up a Jacob Morrow, finds him on Facebook, like gets his number, goes to his address, or like calls the guy. And so she shows up and she's like, she gets to the door and she's looking at like this old dude. She's like, I'm looking for Jacob Morrow. And he's like, that's me. And she goes like, I'm looking for Luke's brother. And he goes like, what did my son do now? Did he sell you drugs? Or like he says something along those lines. And she's kind of like, she's like, he like came back from the military and he's injured. And so like the dad comes back into their life. But like regardless of all of that, we start to see eventually like Luke becomes close with his father that he is estranged from. But as that happens, like he's already close with his brother and his sister-in-law and his nephew that he has. But like as we see that, Cassie also gets introduced to that family as well, and they go to like family outings together and they like do things together, and like that family comes to love her, which again is like another aspect of like this fake marriage. It's like she's kind of like, oh well, I feel bad because like this isn't all like real, but like the family comes to love her. And it's interesting because she's never really had a father figure. She's never really had like a brother or anyone really watching over her. Of course, her mom did her best, but she says like, oh, like they really love you. And they're all like, oh, we love like Cassie. Like we think she's good for Luke and this and that. And so I think that like family isn't always blood, and that's like something to remember. Like I consider like some of my closest friends family. Like you don't have to be like, oh, let's take a DNA test and see like that's not what I only consider family to be. And so I think we see, because Cassie's also a person that doesn't let people in very easily, and we see her let in Luke's family that he's initially estranged from his father. We see her also slowly let them in as well. So
yeah, no, I love that aspect of found family, because it's like, it's not that, sometimes I feel like I love found family in books, but sometimes found family in real life isn't the way they portray it in books. Like we're not like gonna, it's not that you become like family, like, oh, we're living together all the time, but like your relationship is so close that you can become family. And like it's always like so like nice for me when I have such close friends to like remember things about me or remember things that are going on in my life. Like I just took a major test yesterday, and I had a couple friends that, a couple of my good friends, they were like, before and after, they were like, oh my gosh, good luck, like you're gonna do amazing. Like those are like, it's not like I outrightly told them like, oh, this and that. Like they took the initiative to find out, and like that to me is found family. Those are people that will always be in my life for the rest of my life. And I love that Cassie was able to find that through Luke's family, because sometimes like people don't always have that opportunity. Some families are so diverse in this world, and I think that family is not just defined by blood. And if you're like, we're very lucky, we have an amazing family, and like so happy and grateful for our family, but we have so many amazing friends as well that I would say are just as good as my family as well. And so I think that truly trying to find those people that you can classify as found family, I think that is the relationships we should all be striving for in our lives.
Yeah, for sure. But I think kind of another topic on this movie, like we were saying before, like Cassie's diabetes. And so I know like you kind of wanted to talk about, because like again she just took her MCAT, going in the medical field, so you will be in the healthcare system. So how do you feel about like, because in the movie, like I said in the beginning, they told her like your insurance can't cover your insulin, even though she would literally die without it.
Like, it's insane. And I wonder, like, I mean, it's already hard on like the doctor that like, you know, is prescribing this medicine. But I wonder, like, as a pharmacist, like...
Yeah, being the person telling them, like...
Yeah, like, they know that, especially with, like, insulin, that's such a, like... Diabetes is a pretty common disease. And so most people know that, like, oh, people with diabetes need insulin, otherwise they're going to die.
Yeah.
And so, like, even, like, a pharmacy tech that may not know a lot about medicine, they're like, if this person doesn't get their medicine, they're screwed.
Yeah.
And it's really interesting to me to think about that. I'm like, I wonder how that affects them. Like, the whole healthcare system in the United States is, in my opinion, very sad. There's so many things that they need to change, and it will never change. And I say that because we are in a society where the way laws are made, it's controlled by the rich of the rich. And the rich of the rich don't care about the regular people. They don't care about your health insurance. They care about their own money and their own, you know, filling up their pockets. And so they're never going to make laws that are against themselves or the people that support them. And no matter who you vote for, no matter who you vote for in these positions that can make these changes, they're not going to be able to make the changes, no matter what political side you're on. It's just there's just not enough people to make those changes because the system is just run by money, unfortunately. And it was really interesting for me to see that, you know, a lot of times, like I said in the beginning, like, you sometimes have to break the rules in order to save yourself and save your family. And you saw that is what this whole story was about Cassie. She realized I had to break the rules. I had to break the law. I had to get married. Otherwise, I'm going to die. Like, it wasn't like, oh, I want to or anything. It wasn't for selfish needs. Like, she wanted to live. And I think that it's just a really, I guess, eye-opening thing that sometimes you don't see in movies that, like, oh, this is actually happening. That
they don't really show, like, the hardships of the struggle.
Yes, and so many people every day are suffering through that. And I think that I like that this show put it in a way that there's maybe an awareness, you know, of it. Like, hey, people, like, healthcare sucks. Like, and I mean, the only way I can really see it changing is if people vote correctly, but that's not gonna happen. But like, I think that really being aware that there is so many challenges in the healthcare system, and there's so many challenges in people's lives and in medicine and everything, and I guess trying to find where the root of the problem is I guess one step to changing the problem. And I just love that this movie really portrayed that this is happening to people every single day.
Yeah, for sure. And another aspect too about Luke, the other like other main character is
he's not a love interest. He's the only interest.
Like, it's not a love triangle, thank God.
I literally, I was telling our other sister this. I'm like, I cannot stand love triangles.
They never choose who you want them to choose.
No, because like
or if they do, it's messy. It's never
just annoying because like, you know, she like, okay, let's say the guy that she's gonna end up with is like perfect. Then there's some annoying guy that's like, oh, I love you. Like, shut up. Leave her alone.
Like, you haven't been a part of this story.
Like, go away. Like, they just bring this random person and then they're, like, following the girl around and annoying them. Or the guy that she's going to end up with sucks.
Yeah.
And she should end up with the other, you know, the second male lead. But she never does. She ends up with the sucky guy.
Oh, well, he's my, like, soulmate. Like, no, he isn't. No, he isn't.
This is not this movie.
There are no other options, thank God. No.
One guy.
But another thing we see, like a real world hardship and struggle with Luke is, like I said before, his leg got like blown up by an IED. I don't really know like the specifics of what happened, but like all I know is like he was on IED and his leg got hurt.
Because those are like in the ground, and if you step on it, right?
Yeah, like I think it's like pressure.
It's like it's a landmine. I believe that's what it is.
Yeah, basically. And so we see like through him, he has like PTSD from this, and also just the struggles of like being in the military and like the respect, like obviously being in the military is of the utmost respect. Those that serve our country, like amazing people, to be able to sacrifice that for your country, for your people is amazing. And so we see, like, I feel like a lot of times we just see like, you know, the miraculous, like the heroes that come back after winning the war or like whatever it is, like those that get Purple Hearts and like the people that get like the medals of honor and stuff. But like before all that happens,
I don't think we told anyone this, that he got the Purple Heart.
Yeah, but like it's kind of weird because he's not supposed to get it.
Yeah, that was like I feel like we kind of glossed over it. The reason this movie is called Purple Heart is I believe
Purple
his dad.
Hearts.
Yeah, his dad got one, right?
Yeah.
And so when he got struck by this IED that Yosa's talking about, he also got a Purple Heart.
But like I'll quickly say the reason he's not supposed to get the Purple Heart is because like they find out about like the fraud, obviously, because it's like the Jono guy that's like framing him for money like tells like the military police or the military, so he goes to jail for like a period of time. And so when he comes home, he's shocked that he's like, oh, I got the Purple Heart. And he's like, yeah, like you still got, like the dad was like, yeah, you got it or whatever.
Oh yeah, because like, okay, I couldn't remember if he kept it.
Yeah, he
because
keeps
like
it
wouldn't be so like, I mean, yeah, he broke the law, but like he still went out and served his country.
I think like his medals of honor were stripped, or like his rank was stripped or something. But you still, because like the Purple Heart is like it's an
honorary. I think.
Yeah, like I think it was different. They were like, oh, you still get it. Even
we are not military experts. We have no military.
Watch
in our
the
home.
movie to be sure. I have watched it multiple times and I still never get that part, like with the whole jail. But
yeah, like it was, I felt like that scene was a little rushed.
Yeah, it really was.
Like but he shows up and then she's like in a white dress and I'm like, whoa.
And then like all of a sudden he's back. Like anyway, but we see like also another really sad part of this movie is we see the toll the military takes on Luke's life. And the Frankie kid we were talking about earlier that Cassie's been friends with for a very long time, she babysits, he ends up dying about halfway through the movie, which is devastating because not only is he Cassie's friend, he's also one of Luke's friends, who Luke was actually staying at Frankie's house, which is why like he was even in that conversation that we were talking about with like the military police and everything. And so Luke and Cassie are both like struck by this because Luke's hurt. He can't do what he wants to. He can't serve the country that he wants to protect and wants to serve. And his best friend just died. His best friend just died in the same IED that injured his leg, actually. So when he was going through surgery and everything, his friend had literally like died. And so I think the thing is that the thing that I love that this movie shows is it shows like the rough like patches. Like you would think, I feel like in all those romance movies, like they always kind of glorify their lives a little bit. It's like nothing, like if something bad happens, it's always resolved in the end. No one ever really dies. No one ever is really hurt unless it's like the villain of the movie.
Or they somehow, like if it's jail, they somehow skirt around.
Yeah, they find some lawyer.
But this man really went to jail. I was shocked. I didn't think, like as I was watching the movie, I was like, oh, he's not going to jail.
I mean, he went for like 6 months or something, because
that's
like
still something.
It's not like one of those offenses that's like, oh, you're gonna get like life for this. But like we see that like the movie does show hardships with like the healthcare and her insulin and literally being able to live, and his entire leg being injured, his best friend dying, all his comrades still being in battle while he's staying at home trying to heal. And so I really like that the movie shows that like life isn't just about like the great things of, you know, like, oh, life might be hard, but, you know, at the end of the movie, it's all going to be great. Because it's like, that's true, but like, you're still going to lose people. Things are still going to happen. You're still going to have to suffer in ways that like, maybe you don't want to. And like, again, that I was really sad when Frankie died. He was honestly like one of the best characters, a genuine and sweet soul. But again, like not everyone is able to like live, right? Like not everyone can live till they're 90 years old. And so I like that movie showed grief and sadness and a little bit of reality, because you know, it's not The Notebook where it's like, oh, she can ditch the guy and they can still have the house and grow old together, you know.
I'm a avid hater of The Notebook, but
I love The Notebook.
We're not gonna talk about that today. I'm sure I'm gonna get hate for that, but it's okay. Something I guess you want to end on this last prompt. This was a question that came to my mind. I was like, I kind of talking about like the grief, and we talked about this last week, and we got a comment on one of our shorts, and I really appreciated it. But the question is, can struggle actually bring people closer together? You wanna go ahead, or you want me to start?
I can go ahead. I have a little scene from the movie, but I think one of the scenes, because we were talking about earlier how like the relationship is really fake in the beginning, like it's kind of like smile for the camera and then like glare at each other the second it's off. But I think one of the things we see in the movie is, again, Luke's leg is injured, Cassie is dealing with insulin, like, but she's also an aspiring artist, so she has shows coming. She's really, really busy. And so there comes a day where like she forgets to eat or something like that, or she almost passes out. And so Luke, with like his crutch, is like trying to like rush to get like medicine or insulin or something, like some type of sugar to get something in her. And so we see that like in the scene, he literally just like holds her and he's like please breathe, like he's like actually worried. And so I think, and after that, there's another scene that happens where it's like Luke is like obviously injured, so he can't like bathe himself, kind of, which like I'm like, how did you shower the rest of the movie before that? But anyway, but like she has to like
build the plot.
Yeah, just to add something. But she basically has to bathe him. He's in shorts, by the way. Before like people were like, what the? He's in like shorts. But, like,
hey, they're married, so
yeah, I know. So, but like she like washes him and like showers him and everything, and then she goes like, oh, like you don't have to sleep on the couch today, like we can like sleep in the bed together, which is like, first of all, why is the injured guy sleeping on the couch? This little he can't even like move his leg. I'm like,
yeah, that's why is terrible.
And like she doesn't have a guest bedroom because she lives in like an apartment,
a 1-bedroom like cheap apartment.
No, there's like a kitchen.
The doorknob's on like the ledge of like the rail next to her door, and so every time she has to take it off, put it in to open the door.
The doorknob's literally broken off the door.
Yeah, I remember when Luke's family dad came and he was like.
He's like, oh, okay. Nice. Luke actually ends up fixing the door, of course.
Good job, Luke. He redeems himself.
Yeah, he gets better as the movie goes on. But I think one of the things about that scene or those scenes is that it shows that despite being enemies in the beginning, despite, the differences in whatever their beliefs or like the military police thing, it's like at the end of the day, it's like they came together through their struggles. They helped each other when he wasn't able to, walk to the shower and she wasn't strong enough to give herself insulin and get sugar in herself. And so I think that's just so important because struggles really do bring people together. Like, I think if you don't have struggles in any kind of relationship, then you'll never know whether you truly love that person through thick and thin.
And that's not a real relationship. There's no relationship that doesn't have struggles. Like, exactly. I don't know, like if you do like that, you're glorious. Yeah, you're not real. I'm just saying, it's something's wrong and you need to look into it. Just saying. But I 100% agree. I think that in life there has to be struggles. Like, the question is sometimes like, why do we struggle? Why is there grief? Why are we always having to do something? Like, why do we always have to be working? And I think that the reason is in relationships and in life that we need struggle, we need grief, is that we need to be able to work towards something. Like I said in the last episode, our brains literally can't sit still. Yeah. And unfortunately, like, the struggle is part of the way that our brain doesn't sit still. It is like, what can I do to overcome? How can I keep going? And it's the same with grief. Like, I think that the reason that we have to go through grief is because you need to be able to overcome that struggle, and your brain needs to think about it, and it needs to almost like strengthen itself. Like, I think that's how the brain is physically always changing. Like,
and it strengthens your relationship.
And it strengthens your relationships, absolutely. And so I think that struggles do bring people together. Like Yosa was saying, like, if you're not struggling in a relationship, you're not sure if they could actually stick with you through the thick and thin. And so I think that we need those struggles in life. We need to experience sadness and hardship and all these, emotions and honestly terrible things in order to appreciate the good, right? There's opposition in all things. How can you understand what is good, what is happy, what is love, if you don't understand what is sadness, what is hate, what is heartbreak? And so I think that for us to be able to appreciate life and appreciate this world and, you know, the people and the relationships around us that, you know, bring us so much joy, we need to be able to understand the struggle that brought us to get to that end goal.
Well said. Well said. But yeah, I know I know I love this movie. Probably one of my favorite.
It's a good movie. I think I watched it like twice.
I've watched it at least 15.
15?
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Really?
You know another movie I've watched it like 30 times? To All the Boys I've Loved Before.
Okay, same. Like I don't know if I've watched it 30.
But it was so bad because I remember I watched it 5 times in the same day.
What?
I literally and the original Spider-Man movies and Purple Hearts. I've watched like each of those movies like multiple times.
So every time we share a room, by the way, every time I like look over and she's watching a movie, she's rewatching a movie for the 30th time.
I'm not even kidding. I haven't done that with Purple Hearts, but To All the Boys I Loved Before, and this is like the original Spider-Man
5 times
movies.
In one day.
Yeah, I believe maybe not 2. It was like at least 3 or 4, and then I would watch it the next day, take a break, watch it the day after.
What is wrong with you?
I don't know, but I did the same thing with Spider-Man. I watched all 3 movies like over and over again.
I've known her, how old are you? 18 years, and I've never heard this before in my life.
Because like I guess I've been doing it for like 4 or 5 years, but like
this is insane.
Because it's so rare. Because there's, like I'm saying, there's only a few movies I can count on my finger that I've done it with. But if a movie is so good to me, like I've watched it multiple times in the same day. Like I'll watch it, rewatch it again, or I'll watch it the next day, like I'll just watch it every single day of like for like 2 weeks. Like it's bad.
Wow. Well,
that's what I did with Purple Hearts because I watched that movie.
You learn something new every day about your younger sister.
That's how good the movie is. So
it's a really good movie.
We're advertising for Netflix right now, but
sponsorship.
Literally.
But thanks so much for tuning in and watching or listening to this on whatever platform you are. Make sure if you're watching this on YouTube to subscribe to our channel, turn on post notifications. We post shorts. Oh yes, give us a like as well, please. We post shorts, TikToks and Reels every single day, or every single day but Sunday. We take a break on the Sabbath. And make sure to follow us on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, and make sure to give us a 5-star review. And we will see you guys next week. Okay.
Right. Bye.
Bye.